On the part of the Committee on Amendments, Revision, and Codification of Laws, this committee hearing is now called to order.
Auzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On the part of the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Management, this committee hearing is hereby called to order. Sa akin na muna direct. Okay, para roll call tayo. The Secretariat of the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Management is here. Tapos after roll call. Before we proceed with the roll call, may we request the Honorable MP Dan Asnawi to lead us in the invocation.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم اذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وادخلنا الجنة مع الأبرار يا عزيز يا غفار يا رب العالمين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
May we please stand up for the singing of the national anthem, followed by the Bangsamoro hymn.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw, ewas ng sirahanan, alam ng puso, sa likid mo'y buhay. Lupang binirang, tuyang ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka masisingil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit ang bagaw. Ngayon at ang tulak, awit sa pagdayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawat mo'y tagumpay na nag-iingin. Ang bituin at araw niya, kailan pa may di magtitingin. Luha ng araw ng walhagit pagsinta, mo'y langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya na pagkay mga akin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Simula noon hanggang ngayon, isa ang naging
Mga kababayan, ang pambansa.
mula sa hamon ng nakaraan, niyapos ang panganib na umaanlang. Sinagad sa puso at paniniwala, ang ginhawa para sa kabataan. Bangsamoro
The Secretariat of the Committee on Finance, Budget and Management is hereby directed to call the rolls to determine the presence of quorum.
Hello. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, honorable members of the committee. As your names are called, kindly signify your presence for the record. Roll call of the honorable members of the Committee on Finance, Budget and Management. MP Attorney Kitem D. Kadatuan Jr., Chairperson. MP Attorney Jose I. Lorena, Vice Chairperson. MP Attorney Nagib G. Sinarimbo, Vice Chairperson. MP Engineer Baintan A. Ampatuan, Vice Chairperson. MP Dr. Susana S. Anayatin. MP Tumanda D. Antok. MP Javier A. Asarul. MP Dan S. Asnawi. MP Zulfikar Ali S. Bayam. MP Abdul Basit R. Benito. MP Maruf B. Kandao. MP Dr. Hashimi N. Dilanggalan. MP Dr. Muhammad Nazir S. Ebil. MP Matarul M. Estino. MP Architect Edward Yugera. MP Khalid M. Haji Abdullah. MP Hatimil E. Hassan. MP Abdullah B. Hashim. MP Dr. Ibrahim P. Ibay. Noted po. MP Muhagir M. Iqbal. MP Saripudin D. Jikiri. MP Faisal G. Caron. MP Benjamin T. Loong. MP Butch P. Malang. MP Jafar Apollo Mikael L. Matalam. MP Tawakal B. Mitimbang. MP Michael E. Mitimbang. MP Hussein P. Munoz. MP Attorney Ubaida C. Pakasam. MP Alindato K. Pagayaw. MP Said M. Sheikh. And MP Dr. Kadil M. Sinulinding Jr. Ex-officio members, MP Muhammad S. Yaqub, Parliament Speaker. MP Attorney Nabil A. Tan, Deputy Speaker. MP Engineer Don Mustafa A. Loong, Deputy Speaker. MP Abdul Karim T. Miswari, Deputy Speaker. MP Attorney Liza M. Alamia, Deputy Speaker. MP Attorney Aminuddin U. Sumagayan, Deputy Speaker. MP Swaib L. Uranon, Deputy Speaker. MP Engineer Baintan A. Ambatuan, Deputy Speaker. Okay. Let me do that again. MP Muhammad S. Yaqub, Parliament Speaker. MP Attorney Nabil A. Tan, Deputy Speaker. MP Romeo K. Sema, Deputy Speaker. MP Abdullah B. Hashim, Deputy Speaker. MP Engineer Don Mustafa A. Loong, Deputy Speaker. MP Abdul Karim T. Miswari, Deputy Speaker. MP Faisal G. Caron, Deputy Speaker. MP Attorney Liza M. Alamia, Deputy Speaker. MP Attorney Aminuddin U. Sumagayan, Deputy Speaker. MP Swaib L. Uranon, Deputy Speaker. MP Engineer Baintan A. Ambatuan, Deputy Speaker. MP Attorney Aishak V. Mastura, Deputy Speaker. MP Edzfar H. Usman, Deputy Speaker. And MP Attorney Jose I. Lorena, Deputy Speaker. MP Attorney John Anthony L. Lim, Floor Leader. MP Attorney Raisa H. Jajuri, Deputy Floor Leader. MP Attorney Rasul Y. Mitmug Jr., Deputy Floor Leader. MP Suharto S. Ismael, Deputy Floor Leader. MP Attorney Randolph C. Percasio, Deputy Speaker. MP Attorney Amir Zakaria A. Rakim, Deputy Speaker. MP Attorney Nagib G. Sinarimbo, Deputy Speaker. And MP Attorney Suharto M. Ambuluto, Deputy Speaker. In attendance, Deputy Floor Leader. Okay. We also acknowledge the presence of the honorable members of the Committee on Local Government as well as the Committee on Amendments, Revision, and Codification of Laws, especially our Chairperson of CARSAL, MP City, Farhani S. Uyuyut, and MP Rasul E. Ismael in attendance. Mr. Chair, out of the 32 members of this August committee, we have 15 physically present and 1 via Zoom. With a total of 16 present, we have a quorum established. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
With the certification of the Secretariat of the presence of quorum, the Committee on Finance, Budget and Management may and can proceed to conduct its business.
Secretariat of the CARCL, kindly do the roll call to determine the presence of quorum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Honorable members of the Committee on Amendments, Revision, and Codification of Laws, kindly say present once your name is called. Honorable Chairperson Siti Fahani S. Uyuyod, Vice Chairperson MP Muhagir M. Iqbal, Vice Chairperson MP Attorney Kitam D. Kadatuan Jr., Honorable members of the committee, MP Susana S. Anayatin, MP Zulfikar Ali S. Bayam, MP Abdul Basit R. Benito, MP Muhammad Nazir S. Ibil, MP Amiruddin Y. Gayak, MP Ibrahim P. Ibay, MP Sarifuddin D. Jakiri, MP Bayali S. Caron, MP Much P. Malang, MP Bailing S. Mantawil, MP Froilin T. Mendoza, MP Alindato K. Pagayaw, MP Ramon A. Piang Sr., MP Attorney Nagib G. Sinarimbo. Madam Chair, based on the roll call, 15 members are physically present and 1 member via Zoom. A total of 16 members of the Committee on Amendments, Revision, and Codification of Laws are present physically and via Zoom. Therefore, we certify a presence of a quorum for the committee to transact business, Madam Chair. Thank you.
On the part of the Committee on Local Government, the Secretariat is directed to do the roll call.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On the part of the Committee on Local Government, may we request the honorable members to say present when your name is called. Chairperson, MP Nagib G. Sinarimbo. Vice Chairperson, MP Michael Imid Timbang. Vice Chairperson, MP Butch P. Malang. Vice Chairperson, MP Raisa H. Jajuri. Vice Chairperson, MP Benjamin P. Loong. Members, MP Suharto M. Ambolodto, MP Muhammad Kelly Yuantao, MP Tumanda D. Antok, MP Dan S. Asnawi, MP Zulfikar Ali S. Bayam, MP Hashimi N. Dilangalen, MP Matarul M. Estino, MP Amiruddin Y. Gayak, MP Edward U. Guerra, MP Abdullah B. Hashim, MP Abrar J. Hataman, MP Ibrahim P. Ibay, MP Muhagir P. Iqbal, MP Rasul E. Ismail, MP Sarifuddin D. Jikiri, MP Faisal G. Caron, MP Bailang S. Mantawil, MP Jafar Apollo Michael L. Matalam, MP Tawakal B. Mitimbang, MP Hussein P. Munoz, MP Ubaida C. Pakasem, MP Ramon A. Piang Sr., MP Romeo K. Sema, MP Kadil M. Sinulinding Jr., MP Fahani S. Uyuyod. We also acknowledge the presence of the honorable members, namely MP Kitam D. Kadatuan Jr. as CFBM Chairperson, MP Susana S. Anayatin, MP Alindato K. Pagayaw, MP Haber Asarul. Mr. Chair, out of 30 members, there are 12 members present physically and via Zoom. Therefore, I certify the presence of a quorum.
On the basis of the certification of the Secretariat that there is quorum, we will now proceed with the business of the day. At the outset, allow me to thank 2 co-chairs for today's meeting, the Honorable Kitam Kadatuan Jr., Chair of the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Management, and the Honorable Siti Fahani Uyuyod, Chair of the Committee on Amendments, Revision, and Codifications.
Hello, hello.
As well as the members of the 3 committees, who for the first time are doing a joint committee meeting. Let me acknowledge also the presence now of the chair of the Committee on Public Works, which we hope would also decide to include the major agenda from this committee for discussion of the joint committee. Let me also acknowledge colleagues joining us via Zoom. We thank you for MP Pacasam. MP Pacasam was joining us via Zoom, and the Honorable Ramon A. Piang Sr. was also joining us via Zoom. Thank you, colleagues. This is an overtime work for the three committees, and we will therefore, as much as we can, expedite the proceedings, making sure, however, that the substantial issues involving the different legislations now pending before the three committees are adequately addressed. For this joint meeting, the major agenda would be a discussion on BTA Bill number 431, otherwise known as an act expanding the scope and services of Special Geographic Area Development Authority, amending Bangsamoro Autonomy Act number 13, otherwise known as the Bangsamoro Administrative Code, and the Bangsamoro Autonomy Act number 49, otherwise known as the Bangsamoro Local Governance Code, providing funds therefore and for other purposes. The same is principally authored by the current administrator of the Special Geographic Area Development Authority, the Honorable MP Butch P. Malang. So all questions on the committee may be directed to the administrator. But this is an important piece of legislation in which the Chief Minister would want the Parliament to pass as soon as possible. Mindful, however, of the needed amendments, if there are any, to ensure that the SGADA would be able to adequately perform its duties and functions. If you recall, when we created the Special Geographic Area Development Authority, the aim of that office is to address the different tiers of government that are absent because of the special and unique circumstance of the SGA, which is a cluster of 63 barangays, which started without a municipality, and no province and no representation in Congress. Therefore, it relies solely on the services provided by the different ministries of the regional government. After we enacted the legislation creating the different municipalities, which are now 8, the services that are now being provided by municipalities have been rendered to the 63 barangays. 2, however, of these municipalities continues to be without share from national taxes, or what we are more familiar with as the internal revenue allotment. So wala pong IRA yung dalawa. And because it has not been constituted into a province, wala din pong provincial services na nabibigay sa kanila. And because it is not a province, the mandatory constitutional provision that provides for every province that would have automatic representation in the House of Congress is not also present. So wala pa rin silang representation dun sa Congress. It is therefore the aim of this legislation to fill that vacuum in terms of services. If you note in the Local Governance Code, the authority has been rendered into a mere secretariat, providing no services to the constituents of the 63 barangays and 8 municipalities. So our aim is to empower enough the SGADA so that it may render services to its constituents. So yun lang po talaga ang aim ng bill na ito. And the principal author is seeking the support of the Parliament. Maraming salamat po. Magandang gabi. And we hope masarap yung pagkain daw po. Sige po. So, any member who would wish to make the appropriate motion so we can approve the agenda as proposed?
Mr. Chair,
Honorable Matalam is recognized.
thank you, Chairs. Would like to approve the agenda
Without amendments? O
What?
meron ka? Isingit.
without amendments.
Yung sa'yo daw, baka pwede na natin isali. Yung creation. Amendments din. Ano? Nasa administration. Marami ko pong tayo?
1 minute suspension, Chair.
The Honorable Matalam may approach the bench. No, the chairs. Please. Wala daw naka recognize.
Mr. Chair, Ms. Chair, I would like to propose an amendment, including Bill number 5, the creation of the Special Geographic Area District Office of MPW, Mr. Chair, and approve the order of business, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion to amend the agenda to include under other matters the proposed creation of an engineering district in the SGA. The same has been duly seconded. Do we hear any objection? Chair hears none. The motion is carried. The agenda, therefore, we will proceed, therefore, with the discussion of the agenda. May discussion ba kayo? Wala na? Yeah. Sige. Sige. So we'll take up agenda number 1, which is BTA Bill number 431. We would acknowledge before we proceed the presence of the Honorable Hashimi Dilanggalan, the Honorable Said Sheikh, who else? Okay na tayo? Thank you. So, anybody who wish to clarify issues involving BTA Bill number 431? Your creation. Yes, Honorable Pagayaw, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yung Section 4, Composition of Special Geographic Area Board. Ang ibig sabihin nito, automatically the chairperson of the SCADA is the same time chairman of the board.
Yeah, apparently according to the bill, the chair of the SGADA, siya din ba ang ano? Special Geographic Area Board. Section 4, paragraph A. When chairperson who shall be appointed by the Chief Minister and shall continue to hold office at the discretion of the appointing authority. Remember in the discussion, the Honorable Deputy Speaker Mastura pointed out that we probably needs to put some stability in the governance of the administration so that the chair of the board at least has a ano gusto mo dito, Koy? Fixed term o coterminous at least to the chief minister. So if that is the proposition, pagdating sa amendments, i-ano natin to? Balikan lang natin. I-raise mo yun, Deputy Speaker Mastura. Yes, Deputy Speaker Mastura. Provide the microphone. Kaya nga, nandito kayo. Huwag ka na magtanong. Extend na lang natin.
Mic test. Okay na? Yes, I raised this during the public hearing that the board must be more representative, and also, of course, I also raised the issue of the stability of the term no? So one of the proposals is to make it coterminous, and then the other proposal is to add more representation from the mayors. Because as you know, in the MMMDA model, all the mayors of Metro Manila sit in the council, or the Metro Manila Council as they call, which is like the policy making body in the MMDA. So I'm not prepared to make any changes at this point at the committee level. So perhaps a substitute bill down the line can be provided, and then we can make the amendments at the plenary level. So at this point, I think the intent right now is to reach the plenary. So if these kinds of changes are to be introduced, it can be introduced at the plenary level. At this point, maybe we should just change it when the time comes. So that's my proposal, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Mastura. We note of the manifestation of the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Speaker Mastura. We actually have some notes during the earlier deliberation of the bill, and our team is currently inputting those proposals during the discussion, and we hope to already provide that when we reach the plenary. So, like the one earlier raised by the good Deputy Speaker. Anyone else? Yes, please.
Thank
Deputy
you.
Speaker Apatuan.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Chair, I would like to reserve my time in the plenary because the chair of the Committee on Finance asked me to sit here on his behalf because there's an important meeting right now. So parang awkward naman ako magtatanong tayo yung host. So doon na lang ako sa plenary, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Baitan. Well noted on that reservation. We recognize the Honorable Matalam, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a clarification lang, Mr. Chair, on Section 10 of this bill pertaining to the funds, Mr. Chair, the source of funds for the operation of the
Yes.
GADA. I don't know if may makaka-answer nito, Mr. Chair, regarding doon sa letter B.
Yeah.
Shall have a fixed share of 5%
Yeah.
annually from all revenue collection of the Bangsamoro government. Hindi ko alam kung meron na ba tayong
Hindi masyado. Malinaw ba?
just
Yeah.
I would just want to have a clarification on this.
Yeah. That's a very good point. In fact, I spoke to the Minister of Finance, Budget and Management to provide us a computation, comparative computation on options available to the committee. That is one, take into account what we mean by all revenues. Are we referring to all income streams going into the regional government, including block grants and other national infusion into the region, plus the taxes, fees, and charges that we collect? That's one. And make a computation. So option A, all revenues includes everything. Second, revenues pertains only to collections made by the regional government from taxes, fees, and charges, as well as income from investments made by the regional government, or in the future, earnings from government owner controlled corporations, or even EDU, exploration, development, utilization of oil and gas and other natural resources in the region. That's two options for us, so we can see. Second is to look at ranges of the percentage, 3%, 4%, 5%. and see how much it would vary, and factor in the services functions that we will be granting the ESGADA, so that we can translate the services, the structure of the government into how much would it cost to run a government that serves the following purposes. I have asked Minister of Finance to do that. I'm not sure if he is prepared to do that computation or to show us the computation today. Otherwise, we can still wait for the submission of the Minister of Finance. Yun lang, para sigurado lang tayo na tama yung amount na ibibigay natin under this legislation.
Yes,
At
tama.
tama yung understanding ng all revenue.
Yun yung worry ko, Mr. Chair. Pagka kasi, sana, hopefully, na lumaki yung revenues natin. Baka mamaya hindi na sila mas malaki yung mapupunta sa kanila. Hindi mabalance, Mr. Chair, pagka in-approve na natin ito na without knowing kung ano yung possible na or what are the numbers. Yun yung kailangan lang natin maintindihan. And nandito ba ang MFBM?
As a Zoom, no? Si Minister is nandito. I've asked him to do that for us, but I'm not sure if if he's ready to make the presentation to us. Minister, please. Pwede ka na, Minister, na mag-present nung breakdown? Yeah. So the Minister of the MFBM is recognized. Please proceed. I-accept ng secretariat natin yung staff ng MFBM na magjo-join para makapresent sila. Share yung screen nila.
%, tapos cities 23%, then municipalities 34%, then barangays 20% po yung kanilang share in the computation of the NTA of the all the LGUs. Next slide. So paano naman po kino-compute yung NTA ng isang probinsya or ng isang city or ng isang municipality or barangay? Next slide. So ito po yung computation. So once na ma-determine kung ilan ang percentage share ng isang province or municipality or barangay, i-compute naman yung actual share nila first based on the population, which is based on 50%. And then 25% nung share nila will be based on the land area, and then another 25% equal sharing. So regardless kung anong status or level ng isang LGU, mayroon po silang 25% na equal sharing. Ito yung tinatawag na equalizer. So once na ma-compute po yung formula using this, mabibigay na po yung NTA ng sa DBM, which is automatically appropriated in the National Expenditure Program. So ito po yung computation ng NTA based on the DBM formula, which we also apply pagdating doon sa dalawang SGA municipalities na hindi pa compliant doon sa Local Government Act of 1991. Meantime na hindi pa sila nakaka-comply either doon sa population or land area. I think sa population na lang ang problema. Ginagamit po natin itong formula na to para mabigyan sila ng kanilang corresponding NTA. There are 2 municipalities pa na tayo po ang nagbibigay ng NTA nila. All the 6 po ay binibigay na ng DBM. Yung isang presentation. So ano naman po ba or magkano NTA na nakokolekt ng mga probinsya ng mga probinsya sa BARM. So that one. So ito po ay nakuha ko lang just this morning doon sa website ng DLGF o the Bureau of the Local Governance Finance, kung saan na naka-reflect po kung magkano yung NTA received na natanggap ng mga probinsya. So for Basilan, as of 2024, ang natanggap po niyang NTA ay nasa 1.6 billion. Lanao del Sur is 3.8 billion. Maguindanao del Norte ay 1.9 billion. Maguindanao del Sur is 2 billion. Tawi-Tawi 1.6 billion. Okay, so and Sulu 2.1 billion. Yung 2025 po na NTA is as of third quarter lang. So gumawa po ako ng presumptive NTA niya for the 2025. Ang ginamit ko lang ko is dinivide ko lang into 9 months itong nakalagay na 2025 third quarter, then minultiply ko by 12 so that makakam up ako ng presumptive NTA. So ang presumptive NTA po for 2025 ng mga probinsya in the BARM ay iyang nakapula po. So with this, next slide. Yung presentation, yung isa pa, yung population. Ito naman po yung population based on the 2024 census na nirelease ng PSA. Yung lahat po ng probinsya including the SGA. So for Basilan, based on the census, nasa 541,000 po ang population or 11.92% of the BARM total population. Lanao del Sur is 1.3 million or 30.10%. Maguindanao Norte 1.1 million or 24.75%. Maguindanao del Sur ay 17.89% or 813,000. 482,000 for Tawi-Tawi corresponding 10.62%. Yung SGA po, yung 8 municipalities, merong population na 214,000 or 4.72% of the total population ng BARM. This is also considered in the computation of the NTA using the DBM formula. So meron po akong na-come up na rates. Perhaps the commission, next slide. The committee may consider in giving the appropriate amount necessary in the exercise of the SGA's functions. Ito pong figures based on letter column B, ito po yung block grant na natatanggap natin sa national government. Hindi ko na po isinama yung other sources kasi ano po yun, variable po yung other sources, increasing, decreasing, tapos minsan may magkakaiba po yung figures. So for the purpose of this presentation, ang isinama ko lang po ay ang block grant na natanggap natin sa DBM. Noong 2020, ang block grant given to the Bangsamoro government ay nasa 63 billion and for 2026 nasa 93.9 billion. This is again 5% of the taxes collected in the entire country. So although may minention po na percentage kung saan pwedeng i-consider to be provided to the ESGADA, pero may computations po akong ginawa. For instance, kung 5% po ang ibibigay natin sa ESGADA using the 2024 block grant, kasi yung nakapresent po kanina is the 2024, yung may actual na NTA ng mga probinsya. So hinighlight ko lang po yung 2024 dahil yung 2025 na na-present ko kanina ay presumptive only. So for the purpose of eventually comparing this to the NTA, 2024 figure po ang aking gagamitin, which is 70.5 billion. So kung 5% po of the block grant based on the 2024 receipt, maaring makuha po ng ESGADA ay nasa 3.2 billion, which is higher than the NTA currently received by the 4 provinces. Kung 4% naman po, nasa 2.8 billion, and then for kung 3%, nasa 2.1 billion, and then 1.7 billion naman po kung 2.5% of the block grant, and kung 2% po nasa 1.4 billion, and then kung 1.5% naman po nasa 1 billion. So ito po yung figures na necessary so that we can compare to the current NTA na natatanggap po ng isang regular province in the autonomous region. So if we use 5%, maaring mas mataas po yung funding allocation na mabibigay sa ESGADA, or if we use let's say 1.5%, then mas mababa naman po siya compared to the NTA currently enjoyed by a regular BARM province. So ito lang po, Mr. Chair, and honorable chairs, ang nagawa naming presentation. I can have this sent to the secretariat, but perhaps this can be considered by the 4 committees in determining the appropriate amount that may be provided to the ESGADA in the exercise of its functions and duties, honorable chairs.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Minister Pagkasam, for providing the Joint Committee the computation for the range of percentage that may be factored in by the Joint Committee in providing the appropriate percentage for the taxes that may be provided ESGADA. What we want to emphasize is that the design for allowing a certain percentage to be fixed already and given to the ESGADA is roughly the design that you find in the MMDA. The MMDA is not an LGU, but it is the only aggregation of LGU that is provided an internal revenue allotment under the existing laws in the country. So sila lang yung nagre-receive na hindi naman sila LGU pero meron silang share from the taxes collected by the national government. So that's where we take the inspiration. Gayahin yung kanila para meron silang appropriate na regular na allocation. Given the fact that our proposition is to allow the ESGADA to function as the next higher LGU in the SJS. So ibig sabihin, roughly the province provincial government for SJ. So yun po yung dahilan. We have roughly an idea of what's the reasonable percentage doon sa presentation ni Minister Pagkasampo. Yes, MP Matalam.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Just like a clarification on the revenue collection. Pag sinabi nating revenue collection of the Bangsamoro government, anong tinutukoy natin? Ito yung revenues na na-gain natin inside the Bangsamoro territory. We have not yet passed the revenue code, Mr. Chair. So, how do we determine these things?
My sense is that the Minister of Finance, Budget and Management is saying that as far as local collections, meaning taxes, fees, and charges collected by the regional government, independent of the black grant, that's almost negligible. So he has not factored that into the computation. In fact, his computation is solely based on the black grant, which according to him is the more stable income stream for the region. So it may be reasonable to assume that even if we treat the provision to include all revenue that includes local collections by the MARP, the numbers would not really move. Just the same pa din yung ano na yan. But what is important to note is that as we improve the collection in the region and probably increase the amount that we generate apart from black grant, baka nga may adjustments doon. So what I intend to do is to provide a proviso that creates a mechanism for reviewing the percentage in the years to come. Para lang meron pa rin mechanism that looks at, are we still providing the reasonable amount based doon sa, kasi kung mag-increase yung collection natin, syempre tataas yung percentage. So para lang may check tayo doon na at any point na medyo tumaas yun, merong review mechanism. So we can fix the interval of the review. That would suffice the concern of the Honorable Matalam. May iba pa? The chair. And therefore, the proponent will have to answer.
Thank you, Sir Chair of the CLG. So I just want to be enlightened lang, no? Kasi under section 10, we are giving the ESGADA the taxing power, no? Earlier, it was mentioned na ESGADA is akin to a political entity, para siyang province. So hindi po ba contradicting itong giving taxing power to ESGADA na hindi naman po siya province? And second question is, itong measure na ito, under Section 10B, provides that the ESGADA shall have a fixed share of 5% annually from all revenue collection of the Bangsamoro government. Tapos, meron siyang taxing power dyan sa Section 10, Paragraph C. So, how do we reconcile yung fees and charges po na makokollect ng ESGADA vis-a-vis the 5% fixed na share ng ESGADA from all revenue collection? Ibabawas po ba siya or distinct pa siya sa kumbaga magiging revenue or magiging funds ng ESGADA? So thank you, Mr. Chair.
MP Butch, you would want to respond. Hmm. Uh, I, with the with the permission of the proponent, I think, Madam Chair, what we envision is that under the local government code, mayroong taxes that are imposed by different levels of LGUs, like quarry, for instance, is a tax given to a province and a city. In the SJA, we notice merong magagandang quarry areas dyan. Kasi yung upper Pulangi River, part ng Kapalawan at saka Old Kabakan. I've seen it. Pwede yun na mag-quarry doon. At currently, dahil wala yung authority imposing the tax for that, libre lang. Bandang taas ng Old Kabakan. May mga magagandang lupa doon na kinukwari for building the roads there. Pero dahil wala kang authority that may impose the tax, hindi rin na collected. So that's what is being envisioned for this one. So it's apart from the percentage, what is proposed now is 5%, can be changed. So additional yun na income niya. So that we also encourage the administration to be able to collect taxes and hopefully magiging self-reliant din sila in the future. Nandito naman ng chair, so
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Yeah, sundan ko na lang dahil pera na yung pinag-uusapan. Diyan na lang ako susunod. Although meron akong ibang concerns. Apparently, based on the bill, there are 3 sources of funds for the SGADA. One is an initial amount of 500 million. Whenever we pass this, automatically, it has 500 million, which will be taken from the perhaps contingent fund. And thereafter, the SGADA would submit an annual budget proposal to the Parliament in order to obtain budget for the SGADA. Now, so, meaning to say, it can be, for item number 1, it can be more than 500 million, depending on the proposal of the SGADA. Okay. And for the second source of funds is the revenue collection, and right now, primarily is the Black Grant. And we're looking at the proposals earlier, from 3% to 5%. Tama po ba? So, yun yung intent, no? And third is that it has the power to impose fees and charges, no? As enumerated earlier. Ang tanong ko dito sa 1 and 2, because the ministries, offices, and agencies would be covering also SGADA in their regular programs and projects. Tama po ba? And in that event, this is apart from what is supposed to be proposed by the SGADA. So, in effect, there are more advantageous compared to the other LGUs, because the other LGUs cannot directly propose programs and projects for the approval of the Parliament. Tama po ba? Okay. So, ang tanong ko is, will it not create jealousy from among the other established local government units, provinces, case of Maguindanao del Sur, del Norte, Basilan, Tawi-Tawi, Lanao del Sur, na mukhang lalabas na favored yung SGA. How do we answer that possible question that may be raised?
That's a very good point, Deputy Speaker. So you have a seed money of 500 million as initial. So when we pass it, it will be provided because they will not be able to propose the funding. Kasi ngayon natin pinasa the remaining years. So yung okay lang yung ano na yan. But I think that's a very good point na yung status ng ESGADA because hindi siya local government unit, hindi siya nahiwalay sa region. Yung in terms of the relationship between ESGADA and the region, closer than that of an LGU. Kasi general supervision lang man tayo sa LGUs. Dito, control and supervision dito eh. Kasi hindi sila hiwalay eh. Nasa, in a sense, part pa sila nung regional government. So that's the reason why it is able to propose directly. And therefore, I think we need a mechanism that would allow us to check kung reasonable ba o sobra na yung napupunta sa kanila given na meron kang mga ministries pa na magsa-service doon sa kanila. The reason I'm interested in the provision is that we are transitioning towards full devolution in the LGUs as provided in the local governance code. Meron 7-year tayo na transition period eh. At this stage, pwede natin talagang aralin na kung yung mga ministries ay hindi natin ipa-fully serve doon sa baba. Meaning, we devolve it to the LGU. Meron tayong experimentation sa ESGADA. Allow them to propose the funds and get the services that are supposedly delivered by ministries. So meron tayong opportunity na makita yan kung effective ba talaga na hindi muna mag-intervene fully si ministries. Sila ang mag-propose ng budget nila and then i-deliver nila yung services. Para meron tayong paraan na ma-measure natin. Ang challenge really in the devolution proposed in the local governance code, isa lang ang ministry na willing to devolve. MSSD lang. The rest of the ministries, they're not willing to part with the power and the services. So they wanted to keep that. Halimbawa, si MOH, they don't want to part with, maski na ang trabaho lang ni MOH ay mag-appoint ng municipal health officer sa isang munisipyo. Kasi hindi niya kaya yung full complement nung, which is a department in an LGU, na may sariling pondo doon sa munisipyo niya. So dito, hindi nila ginagawa yon. Ayaw nung makasama natin. So I think if the parliament exercises its discretion, malilimit talaga natin. Sino ang bibigyan ng pondo? Si ESGADA o si ministries? So that leaves us with a discretion in line with what we are trying to experiment. Yung devolution ba o paano yung stages nung pag-part natin. But important to note na baka nga sumobra yung funding pag hindi tayo nag-oversight ng mabuti. Kasi may pondo na siya, meron pa siyang parang IRA na nakukuha because of the percentage, plus meron pang ministries na magsa-service sa kanila. So yun ang kagandahan ng point raised by the Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes,
And,
proceed please.
I'll press more on this concern. No? If the ESGADA will be converted into a full province in the event that a law will be passed, what would be the effect of that conversion to the funds as provided in this bill? Kasi mag-iba ng mukha nun eh. So, kailangan natin ng provision that would say that in the event that Esgada will be converted into a province, the allocation of such and such will be.
Dapat may sunset provision tayo
Oo.
dito. I'm not sure if we have provided that, but
I
I think that's a very
think,
important
it's,
point.
it's
May
not,
sunset clause.
wala dito eh.
May sunset clause tayo.
Wala siyang sunset clause
We need a
that's
sunset clause.
provided here. O sunrise lang. Sige.
Puro sunrise lang ito.
Sige.
We need a sunset
Sige,
clause.
Mr. Chair, sige, that's one. Number two is let's really look at yung 5%. Baka that is too much. That is too much. At baka talagang magkakaselosan tayo dito. At sige.
I agree.
Okay. Okay lang yan sa taga-Esgada. Lilipat na nga ako ng Esgada kung ganito eh.
Transfer ka na ba?
Transfer na ako. Mabili ako ng lupa doon. Sige. Mag-move ako dito sa section 11. Though may transitory provision but hindi na mention yung about the funds. Let's look at the structure right now of the Esgada. Ilang tao yung meron tayo sa current setup natin, Mr. Chair?
Yan, I think baka pwedeng sagutin ni Administrator kung ilan ang total na employees mo sa ngayon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yung plantilla namin, ma'am, is about mga 40 plus or running to 50. Hindi ko lang
40
masyado.
plus.
Yeah. Kumpleto naman po kami ng lahat ng...
Pero kasama yung JO, ilan lahat?
kasama ang JO is I think umabot kami ng mga 100.
100.
Apo,
Okay. It says in the section 11 of the bill that the civil service laws, rules, and regulations were pertinent to this displacement of personnel affected by this act shall be strictly enforced. The Bangsamoro government shall provide such amounts as may be necessary to pay the benefits accruing to displaced employees at the rate of 1 1/4 months salary for every year of service. Kailan tayo nagsimula mag-hire ng mga permanent employees?
Nagsimula kami ng permanent way back mga 2023 na po yun.
23 and we are so practically 3 taon pa lang sila.
Yes po.
And in effect baka masagasaan sila ng batas na ito? Kaka-hire lang then mawawala na uli ng trabaho. Ganon ba 'yon?
In reality, pwede naman na ayusin yun kasi nasa admin code yung positions nila, which is coterminous to the office.
To the office.
Kasi may yung original na provision, may sunset clause yun eh. So, ang items nila lahat ay coterminous to the office.
But
So,
what we are doing right now is just expanding the mandate. No?
yes,
the
the
mandate.
mandate,
And
yes.
we're not reorganizing.
No, not yet.
So, in effect, pwede ito tanggalin. Kasi parang ano ito, matetreten yung magbabasa
Employees.
at baka hindi na makatulog yung mga empleyado ng Esgada.
Yes.
O, kawawa naman, kakahire lang tapos mawawalan na uli ng trabaho. O, so, sige na, in proper time, we will move for the deletion. Kasi interpellation pa tayo. Okay. So, Mr. Chair, sabi natin we are expanding the scope of authority. Which authority ng Esgada right now ang hindi or inad natin dito because we are expanding?
Parang section 3 pag enumeration nila.
Section 3.
Yeah.
So all of these are not present in the administrative code?
Nina.
Okay.
Doon sa in reality, doon sa admin code medyo okay pa. Pero pagdating nung local governance code, talagang naging secretariat na lang si administrator.
So in effect, when we pass this bill, the administrative code and the local government code, governance code will be amended. So dapat siguro very specific dito sa last portion, yung amendment repealing clause. We should be very specific on what particular section in the administrative code and in the Bangsamoro Local Governance Code yung i-repeal natin. So that's section 12, no? Okay, still on section 3, Mr. Chair. Ang sinasabi dito is the scope of the services will be SGA-wide impact and transcend local political boundaries or entail huge expenditures such that it would not be viable for services to be provided by the individual local government units. So, ibig sabihin, talagang parang above the municipal and integrated yung approach natin in the planning. Because when we say you need these health services, you do not just look at one municipality, but the entirety of the municipality. And one example of that is if you provide a provincial hospital, no? So in the case of health services, that cannot be provided by a certain municipality, but the SGA, SGADA. My question then, Mr. Chair, because we have enumerated the function here, how do we then delineate these functions with that of the functions of the ministries, agencies, and offices? Because I've taken the example of health in this case.
That's a good point. I think in terms of delineating the functions, we are proposing that we more or less empower the SGADA rather than the ministries in the performance of the functions. But we should be able to calibrate it in a way that allows the SGADA to strengthen gradually its capacity before we absorb fully the some of the functions of the ministries. In the proposal, we've simply enumerated it. But I think as we move towards the implementation, we need a more stringent discussion between ministries and the SGADA. Taking into account ano yung nandyan na. Kasi may mga ministries din na wala pang operations dyan sa SGADA.
Okay. What I see, Mr. Chair, is that we need really to have comprehensive plan of the SGADA, and it should be led by the SGADA, and that will inform all the other initiatives of the ministries, agencies, and offices. And from there, we will delineate which are the priorities of the SGADA that they will implement it, and which are the priorities that will be given to the ministries, offices, and agencies. And in that way, we are assured that there will be no duplication of initiatives. So we will be maximizing our resources. Moving on, sample ko lang yun, no? Because dito sa other functions, yung flood control, zoning, health, public. And by the way, bakit ito lang? Bakit ito lang?
I think hindi exhaustive yung list ng ano nila. But some of these are the more integrated function that needs to happen. So like flood control, if you look at yung topography ng SDA, yung Pulangi River originates from, it passes through Kapalawan, Old Kaabakan, all the way to Tugunan and downstream. So sila yung may ano talaga, dinadaanan.
Sige. So, in effect, the listed here are some of the priorities.
Yes. True.
And the others will be left to the ministries, offices, and agencies.
I'm not prepared to concede as yet kung ano yung bigay na agad sa ministries
I
kasi hindi
think
masyado
we need
exhaustive.
to, kasi
Yeah.
baka later on pag humingi ng budget kung, for example lang, hindi naman tayo forever sa parliament.
Yeah.
Tapos sabihin nila, hindi, yan lang naman ang
Trabaho niya.
binigay sa inyo eh. You need to amend the bill that created you,
true,
no? So, baka magiging limiting factor ito. Baka kailangan natin these services shall include but not limited to.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I agree.
So, sige. Malalim. Okay. Mr. Chair, yung mga functions naman yan, no? So, coterminous ba yung chairperson? Ulitin ko yung tanong kanina.
Yeah. But although ang proposal ay gawing co-terminus to the chief minister, the one appointing him.
The one appointed.
Rather than parang at the mercy of the appointing authority.
And saan yung institutional na position? I mean, it will remain whenever
Parang
whatever.
executive director.
Executive
Yes.
director, supported by deputies
Yes.
or one deputy,
Deputies.
finance deputy for planning, and deputy for
Operations.
operations. So, tatlong deputies.
Yes.
Okay. So, permanent itong tatlo.
Yes.
Okay. And doon sa implementation which is section 8. May implementing power talaga yung SGADA.
Meron.
But, kasi kung may implementing power siya, they need more manpower.
Yes.
But it was mentioned here, no? The implementation of the SGADA plans, programs, and projects shall be undertaken by the LGUs, the concerned Bangsamoro government ministries, offices, and agencies, people's organizations, NGOs, and the SGADA itself were appropriate. So secondary lang siya.
Masyadong spread, in fact.
Secondary lang.
Masyado spread yung implementation.
Secondary si
I
SGADA.
think we need to...
We need to look at this, no? Baka sabihin nila, hindi, mas priority yung you enter into MOA because whenever applicable lang yung inyong power.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay? Yan lang na muna, Mr. Chair. I think very substantive naman yung
Yeah. Thank you.
Kung may maisip pa ako sa plenary, we will reserve.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. That's a very good intervention. I think it clarified further kung paano yung what are the powers, how do we design the structure of the SGADA to respond to the powers, so to better carry it out. Deputy Speaker Pastura, please.
Yes, thank you very much. I was going to interject with DS Baintan, but mas mabuti na na-explain niya. And I also grateful kay Chairwoman Attorney Siti Fahani kasi I think na tumbok nilang dalawa ano yung mga issues natin dito sa batas na ito. Ang una-una is yung character and identity nitong ating SGADA. So, and then na-point out nila yung powers to levy, no, fines and impose fees and charges because as you know, as pointed out by our chairwoman, Attorney Siti Fahani, it's not a political subdivision. And under our constitution, limited lang yung, identified lang yung political subdivision. So while we are saying na it's in lieu of a province, it can never be a political subdivision because a political subdivision has not just only administrative power, it has autonomy, it has supervision, control over the local government units. So, for example, in the case of levying fines and impose fees, there must be specific fees and fines that it can impose because we have the principle of no taxation without representation. So the SGADA is not an elected body. So if you want to have fines and fees, then you will have to expand the board. All the municipalities will have to be there. Otherwise, you are getting powers from the local government units and translating it through this GADA and without their consent, then there might be trouble. So you have to make sure that when you make those fines, it's not just consultation but real consent from the people that are being governed or under the SCADA. So that's something that we have to look into. Then for the other issues, I think it's already brought out by DS Baintan, and then in my discussions also with Attorney Mitwig, which he'll explain, we have a body here that seems to have a corporate character because it's an authority, but at the same time, it's not a political subdivision. We want it to be more than just a coordinative body, right? So it goes beyond the MMMDA, Metro Manila Development Authority, because as you know, the Metro Manila Development Authority has already evolved. The first one was an executive order, now it's a law. Why? Because all the municipalities there are now cities. And as you know, cities have the same powers as provinces. So there is no problem for them to have this kind of coordinative body. I think the only one remaining that is not a city is Pateros. So for all the rest, they enjoy now full powers of cities equivalent to a powers of province. So of course, in the long term, we envision also that the SCADA municipalities will qualify as cities. That's if they will, they will have the necessary income. But for the most part, that's very far off. So we envision that SCADA will be there. And that in the future, there might be a province. But right now, even though other regions are proposing or other provinces are proposing to divide and create, no movement. So for the foreseeable future, I don't think we'll have a province. That's why we are putting up this GADA. That's the imperative of this GADA. So I will leave it at that. Just like DS Baintan, as we go along in the plenary, we might have more discussions and then make proposals. But on the sidelines, so we can already have some discussions so that we come more fully prepared and no need for very long debates or interpellations at the plenary level. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, DS Apoto. I think you raise a very important point, the power of taxation. There are two ways of doing it as it stands now. One is for the parliament to already impose the tax on its own and therefore enumerate what are the taxes that are vested to the authority. The other one is to delegate it. Of course, there would be issues about delegating it to an authority. So I would prefer that we do the enumeration of the taxes, fees, and charges that we would want the authority to levy. Because at least in the BOL, we are empowered to do that. So we are a full parliament in terms of the powers granted by the BOL. There would be serious issues about delegating that power to a creation of the Parliament. So we'll look at that very intensely and look at, can we just copy the taxes imposed by province and adapt that enumeration in the pending bill now. So yun ang tingin ko pwedeng gawin. Para sigurado lang tayo na hindi magiging illegal yung imposition. Yes, Deputy Floor Leader Mitmog.
Sir Chair, yung question ko kasi hearing now na meron tayong ideas talaga for taxation relating to SGADA. Seeing yung powers kasi ng SGADA, Sir Chair, sa scope of SGADA services, yung Section 3, most of these powers are powers ng region. Ibig sabihin, mga departments natin. Letter A is BARM Ready, letter B, MPW, letter C, MHSD, letter D, MOH, letter E, MILG. So, currently, Mr. Chair, yung admin code natin, technically, maskin si Chief Minister lang, pwede niya i-create si SGADA. So, pag i-finrame natin siya na ang goal natin sa SGADA ay provincial government, mas mahirapan tayo in the future. Kasi currently, right now, kung ang frame lang natin kay SGADA is siya yung ating specific special BPDA for that area, kasi for catch-up lang, even magkaroon ng province, pwede pa din nandyan si SGADA para lang maka-catch up si area. So, ang importante dito, wag na natin siya bigyan ng taxes kasi in the end, yung revenue code natin are all local government revenue taxes. Kino-collect lang din ng region. So, kunin na kagad ni region, input niya na kagad kay SGADA. So, ibig sabihin, mas administrative in character siya kasi pag finrame pa natin siya na parang provincial government, mas mahirapan tayo in the future paano siya i-classify as an entity. So, yun lang yung suggestion, Sir Chair. Pagka finrame natin siya, i-frame natin siya as more of an parang special administrative help. Parang katulad ng SPDA nung finrame nila, para siya sa areas outside ARM. Pero specifically, there are powers of government na ginawa para outside ARM. Pero ito, formerly outside BARM areas. Para administratively hindi po siya mahirap, Sir Chair.
That's a good point. Baka nga yung taxation, but this one also depends on the trajectory of the revenue code. Kung yung bag taxes imposed by LGUs ay kukunin ni region. Or we take exception with regard to this one. Para lang may mangolekta, halimbawa. And at the same time, regulate yung quarry in the area. Kailangan natin din yun na...
Yun, sir, mas madali. Kasi kung regulate the quarry in the area, with si Chief Minister, sabi niya, ito, area ng SGADA, yung quarry, yung MOH, pati, yung MNRE na kagad ang mag-quarry. So, ibig sabihin, may special power of MNRE din siya.
Yeah.
Kasi very specific, ibig sabihin, it's a tailor-fit administrative body for the area to catch up.
Yeah. Sige. So, pwede yun na pag-isipan natin mabuti. Para, also yung tax imposition kasi, ay medyo technical na trabaho at kailangan natin mag-train pa ng mga tao na gagawa nun. Baka additional burden nga doon sa administration. But we'll have to tailor fit it with the trajectory of the revenue code na gagawin natin. We have to be mindful of that. The chair of the finance who's providing the budget.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mr. Chair, I think before we proceed with the further interpellation, it is best, although I know I am a co-author of this, but it would be best for our fellow members of parliament to know the nature, spirit, and intent of the bill itself. Is it the intent of this bill to allow the SGADA or the Special Geographic Area Development Authority to exist even after the creation of the province? And second, if that is the case, then what would be the delineation of the functions within the ESGADA and the province itself?
I think we've substantially look at ano yung options available for us. My sense is baka mas appropriate nga na mag-introduce tayo ng substitute bill, taking into account yung lahat ng inputs ng mga kasama natin. So when we bring it before the floor, ready, more or less reflected na yung ideas contributed by the members of the Joint Committee para mas madali siya. So we will integrate that, look at this one, and then present a substitute bill para mas madali. Para konti na lang amendments pagdating sa floor. Oo, ng secretariat. So ayusin na lang natin yun. So any other concern from our colleagues? Yes, the Honorable Long, please.
Mr. Chair, clarificatory question lang. Ano po ang mangyayari sa ESGADA kung sakasakali pagdating ng panahon, maging LGU na siya ang SGA?
Originally, noon sa admin code, meron siyang sunset clause na pag na-create yung province, gradually mag-ano na siya. Magwa-wind up siya. Mag-deactivate siya. Yes. But gaya nung sinasabi ni Deputy Speaker Mastura, yung hope kasi for a province ay medyo may mga challenges talaga. So one major challenge ay land area.
Kasi,
1/4 lang ng required land area.
kasi di ba, as of now, ka nga, disqualified siya sa local government code, di ba? As a province, kasi
Yeah, if you look
wala
at
siya sa
yung-
500,000.
Opo, if you look at yung criteria set in the local government code, hindi siya abot.
Yeah. But in the event, halimbawa, pinaglaban natin na hingiin sa Congress, gagawin siya exception to the rule. Ika nga maging province siya. So ang tanong ko, paano ngayon ang itong batas na ipapasa natin? Ma-abolish ba ang ESGADA or anong mangyayari?
Magwa-wind up ho siya kasi meron siyang sunset clause. So pag nangyari yung probinsya, gradually mag-ano siya, mag-wind up siya ng business niya.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Salamat. The Deputy Speaker Loong, the other Loong.
Thank you, Mr. and Ma'am Chairs. Regarding the presentation of the Minister of Finance a while ago, Mr. Chairs, can we be clarified what was the final wisdom presented? Am I correct in saying in his concluding words, he was saying if it's 1.5, it's too small. If it's 5%, it's too big. When he was showing the data, was he trying to show the percentage of the actual NTA of a province compared to the region in terms of percentages? So in which case, for example, I land out 2 billion or 1.8 billion approximately of the total. So was the minister actually suggesting a range between 2 or 3 something based on that presentation? Or I didn't understand the presentation of the minister, Mr. Chair.
I think ang presentation ho ni Minister Umayna is he showed us paano ba kino-compute yung NTA. That factors in population, land area, equalization, which is a basic formula adopted by the DBM for providing the NTA to all LGUs across the country. And from that presentation, tiningnan niya yung sa atin. So, all the provinces, ano yung factors? So, land area ni ganito, population ng ganito, equalization rate. And then, out of that amount, pinakita niya ano yung reasonable range na pwede nating tingnan. So if we move for 5%, sabi ni Minister, mas mataas pa kaysa NTA na nire-receive ng mga LGUs pagka ganon ang ano natin. Too much. If we go down to 1-2%, mas mababa naman siya sa nire-receive. So he's providing a range that should guide the Joint Committee. Kasi ang nakapropose dito 5% eh. So he's indirectly saying that's too much.
Second question, Mr. Chairs, is ano ba yung cap ngayon ng sinasabing all taxes collected by the BARM? Ano ngayon yung approximate? Is it 5 billion, 10 billion? May rough figure ba tayo?
From his presentation, apparently negligible yung local collections natin. Halos wala. So, kaya
Hindi
di na
abot
niya
ng
sinali
1
ang base na lang niya as income ay yung black grant.
Black grant.
Apo. But just the same, ang proposition ko, dahil ni-raise ni MP Jambo, paano kung nag-increase tayo? Naka-hit tayo ng oil and gas in the Ligawasan at nag-50-50 tayo with national government. There has to be a mechanism that allows us to review yung increase in the income of the region para maging reasonable pa rin yung ibibigay.
Third question.
We'll put that in the law.
Third question, since we were discussing about a substitute bill, Mr. Chair, what is the difference between Section 3 in the services versus Section 5 in the functions and powers of the SGADA? Pwede ba yung integrate na lang?
I think very specific yung functions eh. Yung doon sa Section 3 ay yung power. At gaya nga nung sinabi ni Deputy Speaker Baintan, baka nga kailangan natin merong clause that allows the Parliament to expand it in a way that commensurate to the budget and the capacity of the authority as it develops. Baka maging limiting yung scope under Section 3. Pero yung functions, very specific naman yon.
Sige. That is all, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Loong.
Tumigil na tayo dito, may isa pa.
Oo, may isa pa daw tayo. So,
Dalawa pa pa.
what's the ano ang appropriate motion?
May amendments. Interpellation pa tayo, wala tayo nakamit.
Amend tayo o yung substitute bill na
Hindi, pero mamana tapos ipikuan mo yung substitute bill.
sige. At the level of the committee, Okay, mag-present pa natin ng
Beforehand, Mr. Chair, manifest that we should take into consideration that the special geographic area is a very poor area wherein it should be given a sufficient amount of appropriations to catch up with other parts of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao.
Yes. Magpa-appoint daw na administrator. Sige. Yeah, the Deputy Speaker, Dato Randy Caron, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I want to address or put my question to the Honorable KLG Chairman. I just want to know how does this measure concretely improve the governance and service delivery in the special geographic area compared to the existing framework? Does this proposed expansion do not overlap with the functions of existing ministries and local government units? Yun lang po, Mr. Chair, ang tanong ko kasi medyo tinitingnan ko ito ang ano natin, parang nagkakaroon, just pattern the way the MMDA is made. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, yes, sir. As it stands now, yung pong ESGADA, because of the provisions in the local governance code, talaga hong na-disempower siya. And in fact, for the 2026 budget, we provided a substantial amount because the Chief Minister wanted the authority to deliver services kasi napabayaan nga eh. Ang problem lang natin, yung 300 million na inallocate natin sa kanya, hindi niya magamit dahil masyadong limited yung authority. Kuha lang siya ng attendance nung meeting. Tapos masyadong complex yung board na kinreate sa kanya. Ang dami-daming nag-a-attend kasi mga ministries, LGUs, iba pang representation. In the end, maubos lang yung pera nila sa merienda na pag-meeting. Kaya daming papatinin. So, what we are proposing is to expand the scope of the authority of the ESGADA so that it can deliver the services. Kasi mga munisipyo lang ang nagdi-deliver sa ngayon tsaka barangay eh. May dalawa pa dyan munisipyo, walang NTA, walang IRA. So talagang taghirap sila. Nawala yung probinsya, nawala din yung representation sa House, sa Congress. So yun yung intention ay empower sila. Expand ho natin para makaperform sila nung services talaga doon sa constituency.
So in short, they need fiscal autonomy for the SGA, or they have already that authority?
Isasama ho yun, yung authority niya to disburse the funds. As it stands, meron siyang fiscal space kasi meron siyang allocation in the 2026 budget. Pero hindi niya magamit dahil wala siyang authority, appropriate, para ma-discharge yung fund na yun na pinrovide ho natin.
So that authority is part of this expansion for them?
Opo, yes sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. So, meron pa tayo? So our agreement is for the Secretariat to prepare a substitute bill reflecting the inputs provided by the honorable members of the committee. And hopefully, we will table that in the next meeting as the substitute bill. And then we'll quickly go, hopefully, because of the integration of the recommendations of our colleagues, baka konti na lang yung amendments. And then thereafter, we'll proceed with the approval of that as the committee report and then bring it up to the plenary. So yun ho ang consensus natin for this agenda. So we'll move to the next agenda, which is inputs, other matters ba? Yung kay MP Matalam. So ano pa ang substantial? Ha? Okay ba ng subject? Dito sa other matters?
5 to 7 p.m. yung ano.
So we'll have to adjourn now? Saan pala yung other matters ni Jambo dito?
Hindi. There's another notice from the Committee on Finance, Budget and Management, the Committee on Public Works. Separate. Kami po yung dalawa.
So hindi na yun dito?
Hindi po.
Kasi walang amendments. Okay.
LG po na.
Okay. Yeah.
The second one, yung sa West UP, hindi naman po siya kasama.
Yeah. Wala ka doon. Mag-adjourn tayo para mag-convene yung ano na yun. Sinong unahin natin? Ate? O si kay Jambo? Iyon ang... Yes. MP Dilanggalan, please. The rest of the doctors are...
Mr. Chair, clarify ko lang, yung substitute bill, ano yun, parang amendment lang o idadaan pa sa plenary mag-first reading? So, dito na.
Dito na yan.
So, okay.
Oo. Pinangalanan lang natin.
Oh, okay.
Amendments na
So amendment lang, hindi na substitute bill.
kunwari lang. So, kasi masyadong marirehash yung ano eh. Yeah.
Kasi kung mag-substitute bill, matagalan pa.
Basta pareho lang yan. Tut-tut din yan. So, sige, so wala na ho. So, anybody who can, there's a motion to adjourn. Same has been duly seconded on the part of the CLG, the joint meeting.
Hirap na naman ito ibuo. Mag-suspend na
Suspend lang daw tayo. There's a
meeting, Mr.
amended
Chair.
motion to suspend the joint committee meeting of the CLG, the CARCL, and CFBM. The same has been duly seconded. The chair hears no objection. The motion is carried. Meeting suspended.
Okay. On the part of the CARCL, there is a motion to suspend the committee hearing. Hearing no objection, the same is approved.
On the part of the Committee on Finance, Budget and Management, considering that there was a motion duly seconded to suspend the joint committee meeting between the CFBM, the CLG, and the CARCL, the joint meeting is hereby suspended.
Picture daw tayo.